In Greg Hunter's video, linked below, V from the Guerrilla Economist says that during the first 90 days of an economic collapse, between 25 and 50 million Americans will die. And he expects that to happen in 2 or 3 years. So, of course, you want to prepare in case it does happen. But is there a way to prevent it? Martin Armstrong of Princeton Economics says yes, there is. Quote, "It would be easy to save the nation in 30 days or less if we approach this from a practical perspective as if we were saving a bankrupt corporation. The answer is right there before our eyes. The problem that prevents saving the nation is that there are too many politicians." Close quote. Martin Armstrong, Republican Civil War. Well, my website is one of the oldest and turned 20 last May. I only started my channel 5 months ago, and my second video was about Martin Armstrong. In that video, I briefly outlined his proposal to save the national economy, any national economy. In brief, here's what he outlined in his March 2015 Solution Conference. First, eliminate all federal taxes. That would have the immediate effect of giving us a pay raise. Second, convert the federal debt to equity. Essentially, all holders of treasuries would receive coupons that could be used to buy stocks, municipal bonds, and to invest in startup businesses. Third, prohibit the federal government from borrowing. Fourth, eliminate all mandatory retirement taxes like Social Security. Fifth, eliminate all political contributions. And finally, authorize the Federal Reserve or central bank to issue money to the Treasury in the amount of 5 to 10% of the GDP. Since federal debt is never intended to be paid off, but always rolled over, the difference between that and Armstrong's plan is that with Armstrong there is no federal debt, just money. Eliminating all federal taxes would give all of us a pay raise, and that would stimulate the economy in a major way. Certainly stimulate my economy. Converting existing treasury bonds to financial instruments to be used to invest would also stimulate the economy. Eliminating all political contributions would terminate the practice of buying politicians, and while allowing the Fed and other central banks to simply issue money without anything but the economy to back it up may not make intuitive sense to anybody over the age of 30, it makes more sense than what we're doing now, and would alleviate the debt burden hanging over everybody under the age of 30. So I think it could work. It's very pragmatic. It won't magically replace existing governments with a libertarian utopia. What it will do is shrink the government, decouple the money supply from politics and chain it to the GDP, which if it produces any inflation at all, will be very low. It will eliminate all federal debt and liberate the dollars locked into government bonds to invest in the economy, and by restricting the federal budget to between 5% and 10% of GDP, it will shrink the government. Will this work? You can read my full article on it linked in the low bar, but I also linked to Armstrong's blog page on which he posted several slides from the conference. Check it out and tell me what you think in the comments. The kind of comments I would like to see are not Austrian arguments. I know all of them. My objections were based primarily on Austrian economics, and that was with the benefit of a 3-hour presentation. But after carefully reviewing his plan and thinking about it for 7 months, I can't see why it would not work. So I hope that either you will be able to explain to me and everybody else exactly why it won't work, or if nobody can, then maybe it will work. And maybe we should start lobbying Congress and the White House to do it right now, before we have to go through a global economic collapse. That's all for now. Check out the other videos, subscribe to the channel. For the Backlash at backlash.com, my name is Rod Van Mecklin.